Hello and welcome to NDTV. I am Shubhangi Mishra. The trickiest part of any hiring is background check. If I tell you, according to reports, employment verification discrepancies rose to over 40%. With me are the three co-founders of Traqcheck, Rishabh Jain, Jaibir Nihal Singh, and Arman Mehta. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. My first question, I'm sure our viewers will also be interested in knowing, how did you come up with this idea? What was your inspiration?
Well, I can answer that. With all of the ChatGPT stuff happening, we quickly saw that AI can do a lot of the repetitive tasks which humans don't want to do. And background checks actually involve a lot of emailing, a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot of errors which can happen with this process. So it seemed like the perfect vertical to apply this new technology to and improve the lives of everyone, help people get jobs faster, help employers hire the best people faster. And there's a $10 billion market for background checks in the world, so there's clearly a big need for it. So yeah, we thought, let's go and solve this problem.
No matter how interesting it sounds, I will also come to the technical part of it. While AI do have several benefits, but it also poses several challenges. For example, data breach. How do you deal with it? Do you have some regulation which you guys follow?
Yeah, so look, we take data very seriously at Traqcheck. So the first thing is consent. Before we run a background check, we definitely have to take consent from the candidate. And then we take data storage very seriously as well. You know, we use AWS servers in India. And it's up to the client, you know, how long they want the data stored, if they want the data stored at all. So again, it's one of the most important aspects, of Traqcheck is data and its privacy and security.
Okay, my next question. When it comes to background checks of potential employees in specific, does AI work on the surface level in terms of determining any shortcomings, or is it sophisticated enough to gauge the competence of potential employee?
Sure. Actually, it can very well do both. As of now, we use AI to help companies aggregate data, make decisions in a fraction of the time as compared to legacy systems. Eventually, it can go much deeper, psychometric analysis. You can use AI to figure out, is this candidate the right fit for this job or not? You can use past data. So there are a lot of things which can happen eventually. But as of now, Traqcheck is essentially an AI agent which automates communication with previous companies, candidates, clients, etc. So it helps make decisions in seconds versus legacy systems which take weeks or months. But to answer this question, yes, it can eventually go deeper. It can keep scaling vertically or horizontally. So yeah.
Give us a sense of your command on AI tool. For example, like we were talking about it earlier as well. Like in specific, if an employer is asking you about a background check, they want it in a particular way, can you let your AI tool function as you want? Can you do it?
You want to take this?
Sure, I can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, our solution is highly customizable, and that's the dirty secret of enterprise software. Actually, you can't just make one piece of software and sell it to 50 clients. Everybody wants something slightly different. So yeah, we worked really hard to create a configurable platform where you can edit it however you want. And even
so how do you do it?
So first of all, we have a dashboard where you can go and you can select all the different checks you want. So for example, you don't really care about, let's say, the educational history of a driver, let's say you're hiring, right? You only care about their criminal history and whether their driving license is real. So you can select those boxes and conduct the check. But if you want a deeper integration, you can go to our API, you can select the flags you want, or you can actually call us up and tell us, hey, we need this feature. Your platform doesn't support it. And we do this all the time for big clients. But actually, interestingly, the bigger challenge is making sure that our AI agent doesn't do the things our client wants it to not do, right? So for example, making sure that the data is being shared to the right parties, right? When humans are not involved, with ChatGPT, for example, it hallucinates, right? It can say things which are not real. So what if it sends your data to an email address where it shouldn't go, right? So we spent a lot of effort, a lot of investment in making this AI steerable, making it robust and deterministic, so it only does whatever it's supposed to. And so we have also a human layer of QC on top of it. So whenever an
Okay.
AI is unsure about what it's supposed to do, a human expert, so these are the experts from the background check industry actually,
Okay.
who step in and they fix things and they see, okay, this is somewhere where the AI said, okay, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. So they'll step in and they'll fix it. And in the future, the AI will learn from it as well. So yeah.
Okay, so many critics will also say that a tool like this might weed out unconventional employees, right? So that might not fit the idea of an ideal employee. Do you think it could encourage mediocrity in terms of promoting an unconventional employee in any which ways?
Not really. So the way we use AI in Traqcheck is both in the back end and in the front end.
Okay.
So talking about AI and the tools we use, right? So we've basically tried to automate the entire process of the background check in the front end. For example, everything an HR would do in an organization to conduct the background check process, we've basically automated that process. So the process remains the same. The method of doing it is now, it's happening not only by a human, but it's also happening by an AI. The most interesting thing is that there's always a human loop where AI is concerned, but now in the background check process, it's around 80% AI and 20% human loop, and that 20% of human intervention is very important to be, true and, still follow the process. So it's not like the AI is doing stuff on its own. It's just assisting the human in trying to make the whole process better and easier.
Right, that's very interesting. My next question would be, how do you see AI shaping workplace? I mean, in specific, do you see it taking over offices in near future?
I think with the whole GPT wave going on, I think LLMs, it's cheaper to deploy LLMs. The cost of compute is decreasing. So I think it's going to fundamentally change how enterprises interact with their own data, how operational efficiency is going to be enhanced. For the last 15, 20 years, we had the SaaS wave. Now we have the AI agent wave. So I think at the consumer end, it's going to change. Maybe millions of apps will be redesigned. At the enterprise end, it's going to change how companies interact with data, how they hire, every department is going to go through this fundamental change. I think Traqcheck has been very quick to adapt to that, right? We've been very fast in incorporating the latest technology, as Jaibir and Rishabh said. We use LLMs, we use a bunch of other tech stacks to make sense of data very quickly. We automate a bunch of tasks, and at the end of the day, companies are making incisive decisions much, much quicker. So that has a big implicit cost to that. So it will certainly change the workplace. It'll change every aspect of enterprise. It'll change how we hire, how we interview, how we recruit. It'll change how we make sense of data, how candidates are adding value to the organization. So I think, and it's already happening. I think it's not that something will happen. It's already happening, and I think it's just going to. And we are, I think, almost at the peak of the LLM wave, and I think it's just value creation from here on. So yeah.
Okay. Atlas, being a part of this very interesting startup, I would say, how do you see the startup industry blooming in the next 15 years from now?
It's super interesting you asked that, because 4 years back, we started Traqcheck from our living rooms, right? And today we're going to have offices in 3 continents.
That's
so, without the startup ecosystems and, the support of funding and just the acceptance of startups, where else, and how else could you do this in 4 years from your living room to, having offices in multiple countries and continents? So I think, it's just the beginning for, startups in India. I think we're going to see a lot of cool startups and massive companies being built, by young teams. This Traqcheck was the first thing all of us did. I actually started working on Traqcheck the day I graduated.
Okay.
So, and I think it's same for Arman and Rishabh, that I think the startup ecosystem in India is booming, and we definitely are going to, be at the forefront of it.
It was a wonderful chat, and on that note, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. It was an insightful chat, and I'm sure our viewers will definitely be interested on how you can. It's just, I feel like it's just a click away to start your own startup. Thank you for watching.